They met in January, and in March, he has come back to marry her. 20 seconds in Thailand. Thailand Rob, how you doing? Well guys, you liked story time so much last time that I asked you to give it thumbs up if you wanted another story time, and oh my god, 2,000 thumbs up later, I get the picture. You want another story time? Well, here we go. And for this one, I've even brought out a special brew. That's right, people, I've never even had this before. It's the Sing Reserve Special Edition Tall Boy. Let's get that out of the way real quick. Well, I don't, ooh, it tastes a bit light. Nay, not as heavy as a Leo. Nay, not bad. I might have to try one of these again. I've only seen these in the tall cans. I haven't seen them in the shorter cans. But anyway, it's a gold can, which represents the story that I'm talking about today, which is love, bliss, matrimony, and how to get married within 60 days of meeting somebody in Thailand. The last time we were here, we were talking about a guy that gave up all his money to a girl that he met at a bar when he was gonna build her this imaginary bar that she and he wanted to build, and he ran out of money and she bought his ticket one way for him to go back. A couple of follow-up questions. One, if you haven't seen the video, the link's right there. Watch the video and you'll understand what I'm saying here. I got a lot of questions after that video about what happened to the girl, what happened to the plot of land, what happened to the build. Long story short, she took the money, she got out of town. But that doesn't mean that she took the money and got out of town just because she took his money and got out of town. She probably just left. The bar that she was working at wasn't successful anyway, so she probably just hung there long enough to see that there wasn't much going on at the time and took off like a lot of girls that work at bars in. They head to Patong further south, or maybe they go back to Bangkok. I don't know where she went. I wasn't on a phone basis with her, so I don't keep in touch with her. Don't even remember her name. The plot of land was taken over by a foreign guy, a Farang. He came over and he built onto the property that was started, which ended up becoming the Orange Bar in Kamala, which has now since been, it's gone, like a lot of bars that happened. Bought, built up, started out, COVID hit. Don't know if that was all, but it wasn't a highly popular bar. There was a lot of different type of pool tables there. It ended up being a very Thai-oriented bar late at night, but it's not there anymore. All the tables are gone, and now it's just an empty shell, like a lot of places in Kamala. Now, let's get on to the main story that I'm here to tell you about today, is how to fall in love with a girl in 48 hours and get married within 60 days. I've made many videos in the past, and I said all you have to do to fall in love over here is come over here and wait a couple of days. And I didn't say that for it to be just a funny joke that I would throw out there like, oh, you can come to Thailand and fall in love in 2 days. You can. It's happened. I've seen it. So again, I'm back on the same road where I used to always sit back in Kamala, where you go down, and Kolb's paint shop used to be there where she would do paintings, but it's not there anymore. And I would sit there every day, just like I was when I met the guy that gave all the money to the girl. I was sitting in the same spot over there while Kop's painting and I'm drinking my beers, and he comes over and he says, I've come to Kamala. You made it look so good. I want to come see what it was like. And he sat down and he told me a story over a couple of beers. We sat there and he told me about how he had the worst relationships in his life had been in America, and he actually just took the time off from work. He barely had enough time off of work to come over. He says, I made the decision I was going to go to Thailand because I had made it look so promising. And so we talked the afternoon and the evening, and I got to know him pretty well. And at COP sometimes in the evening, we would prepare dinner on site at her shop. Her boyfriend would come over and she would cook. Her sister sometimes would show up, and a couple of people that are just friends in general would show up. Well, on this occasion, I was there, and this time I'll call him Corey. I don't know why, but I'll just pick the name Corey. Corey was there, and of course, was invited to eat dinner with us. Well, upon this special night, another friend of Kolb's came over, and so my friend Corey was sitting at one end of the table, and this girl, she shows up, and she's going to eat with us, but they have to go to the market. and buy some of the vegetables that are going to go into dinner that's being prepared for this night. So let's fast forward. When she gets up to go to the market with Cole, they leave. He's smitten. I can already tell that he's smitten. He's only met this girl, but she's sitting at the same table on the same side, and he's just got the Cupid, like he just got shot by Cupid. That look, that that look. And I'm sorry, Corey. It was just funny. It was so easy to see how in love you were at the moment. When she comes back from the market, he gets up like a gentleman. He gets up to give her the seat to get in. Anyway, it was chivalrous, and it was really fun to watch him enjoying his dinner with this new friend of his. Well, someone at the table, not me, but someone at the table said, you know, tonight would be a good night when you finish. Maybe you and her could just take a walk on the beach. Because in Kamala, that's what you do. You can just get up and walk to the beach and have a nice evening on the beach. You could stop and sit and have a drink if you want to, or you could just walk and that's it. Well, once dinner was done, they went their way, I went mine. I ended up going up the road to Grill Bill, which was open at the time, and I hung out there for a couple of hours. When I left there, I got on my bike and I was headed down to either Danny's place or the White Sun Bar. I can't remember at this time if I was still going to the White Sun Bar or if I was headed to Danny's place. However, guess who I saw walking up the road from me? That's right, Corey and his newfound girlfriend. As I drove the motorbike past them, I just waved and went, whoa. I made that sound, whoa, because that's Thai. That's Isan Thai, which means, yeah, we know, but it kind of does in the rest of the world everywhere, doesn't it? Well, I didn't see him for a day or two after that, and then I think I saw him right before he left, and it was a very brief meeting. It was kind of like, we'll see you later, we'll see you later. He was smitten, so I was not seeing any part of him. I was the last thing he wanted to see before his short vacation in Thailand was over. Now, here's what happened. He went up north to meet her family ASAP. He went up there so quick that I didn't even know he was gone. The next thing I knew, if I've got this right, he went back to America because his flight was already planned, came back from America on some quick notice, and then the next thing I know, because he was being quiet about it, I had to pry the information out of him. I don't know if he was embarrassed or whatnot, but within 60, they met in January, met at the table having dinner with me and Cobb's boyfriend, and they met in January, and in March, he has come back to marry her. And I don't mean, there's two types of marriages in Thailand. There's the ceremonial one, which is really just a big ceremony, but it's not legal paper documenting official marriage. So you've got the ceremonial one and the official one. Ceremonial ones are done quite often over here. Legal ones are done quite often, but legal ones are exactly that. If you have the ceremonial one, example would be, if you have a car in your name, if you die, she wouldn't legally be able to take the car because it's not a legal paper marriage. You get the point. So not only did he fall in love in 48 hours, go back to America, come back over to Thailand and have a ceremonial wedding, he had a legal wedding, and he had sinsad, which means, yes, he went to the family. Sinsad is a whole nother discussion. You guys, if you want to start that battle in the conversation, you can. We'll talk about it later. Whether you're for it or against it anyway, it doesn't matter. Some people, there is a need and a reason for sinsad over here. A lot of people say they'd never do it. I get it. If you don't understand the culture over here, you don't understand. That's a whole different topic. Let's leave that for another video. It's very sensitive to a lot of people. After living over here for 6 years and seeing how life works in Thailand, it makes sense. But for a lot of people, it doesn't. It just seems like you're paying to marry someone's daughter. It's not as black and white as that. It's just not. So back to the story. He's back over here in her home village up north, getting married to her, and sends me pictures of all of the family and them all dressed up, and it blew my mind. And I was a bit apprehensive of this, how quick it went. To be married to someone within 60 days of meeting them is a bit rushed. However, he had his point, because he had no chance of being able to come back to Thailand a lot because of his work. And I understand his work. He gets paid very well, but he has to be on job site like constantly, and he can't travel a lot. So that's what happened. They got married. He ended up taking her over to America. She's adapted to America. She's got herself employment in America, and now they're actually saving. This is 3 years ago, and now they're saving money so that they can do visits back and forth, of course. Eventually, she'll probably definitely want to come back over here, and he'll probably retire over here. If they stay together, that's usually the way it works, but that's further down the road. He's about my age, mid-50s. I don't know her age, but she just wants to come back home and be with her family. Of course, Thai women want, Thai families are very, very close. The daughters are very close with their family and their mothers. So they're planning on doing that. So that's the story I wanted to tell you. That's completely opposite of meeting a bar girl and giving her all your money and not having enough money to go back home, is to come over here, fall in love within 48 hours, get married within 2 months to the right girl. It appears to be the right girl. 3 years, they're still happy. He has not told me of any problems that he's had. He says it's the best life he's ever had, but he got a good one. He's happy, she's happy, life is wonderful, and it was like that. So I've told you, when I make the joke that you can fall in love, just come over here for a couple of days. It happened. I've got proof. I've got friends that have done it. There's over half a dozen people that went to see me in Kamala that now have either wives or girlfriends from visiting me. I have another story. If you guys want to hear it, just do the same thing. Do the thumbs up. I've got another story, and this guy actually took a girl out of a bar and made her into an honest woman, if you want to put it that way. And also, guys, if you want to hear secret stories that I don't talk about over here, consider being a Patreon or a Squirrel member and get some juicy tidbits that I don't talk about on here, because I don't like to tell the dirty stuff on here. Plus, it could probably get me in trouble if I did. But over here, yeah, we can do it over there. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and see you next time.